Hey, and welcome back to this week's video. You know, there's a lot of different ways to make it nowadays, to pay the bills, to make a living. If you're fortunate enough, you are able to have a job that pays the bills, but some people are having to resort to maybe second jobs these days, or looking into doing gig work, or maybe even cutting expenses by utilizing multi-generational living or even bartering. And I think something that is often overlooked is the idea of relocating, because that's not comfortable, right? It's hard to get out of our comfort zones when we are looking at trying to cut costs in maybe a less conventional way. And this was something that our family was definitely looking at when we were thinking about making our move. Was not only were we trying to get into a place that aligned more with our values, but a place that would allow us to really just enjoy a little more freedom in our budget. And I'm not saying that Casper is going to answer that call, but it certainly is something to give a second look at if that is your goal. So in this week's video, I'm actually going to be getting a little vulnerable. I'm going to be sharing what my personal costs are, so that way you can kind of get a real boots on the ground feel for what it costs to live here in Casper. Because, you know, I feel like I can say all day long that it is less expensive than the national average to live here, but until you see the numbers, sometimes it just doesn't click, right? So I thought that I would get, like I said, a little vulnerable and share with you some real numbers, so that way you can have a better understanding of whether or not Casper might be a good fit for you in trying to save on some costs and trying to get some wiggle room back into your budget. But first, before I get into that, if we have not met, my name is Summer. I am a local real estate agent located right here in Casper, Wyoming. My family and I made the move here in 2021, so I know very vividly what it's like to be in your shoes trying to find something better. I understand all the logistics and stresses of trying to put a move together, and it would be an absolute honor to help you and your family do the same. I help individuals and families make the move here every single day, so I get it. So please don't hesitate to reach out when the time is right. You can either call, text, or email me. I do it all, and I'm the one that answers all of your phone calls, texts, and emails, so don't be a stranger when you are looking to make the move here yourself. Would you help a girl out and like the video and subscribe to the channel? That way you can stay on top of all things Casper and you won't miss a beat. Okay, so I'm going to be starting off with a few of the obvious things that you should already know by now, but maybe you don't, so I'm going to just give you a quick primer. Wyoming is one of the, I think, 10 or 11 states that does not have any state income tax. So right off the top, you are saving money if you're coming from any state that has any state income tax. Also, our sales tax here is 6%, and our property taxes are, I think, amongst the 11th lowest in the US as well. So keep that in mind when you are starting to pencil out your cost of living. But I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing some of my own personal numbers, so that way you can get a better feel for what it looks like in practice, okay? So starting off with my homeowner's insurance. Now, homeowner's insurance is one of those things where we know has been increasing for the last couple of years across the nation, but the increase levels have not been the same across all of the states equally, right? So some states you've seen bigger increases than others. So I thought that I would share my annual homeowner's insurance cost to give you some context for my home. I do live in a 10-year-old home. It is 3,000 square feet, and I'm on around a quarter-acre lot. So just to give you some context on my cost. But my homeowner's insurance cost for my home is $1,731 per year. Now, keeping up with the insurance cost, let's talk about auto insurance. Auto insurance has also gone up because the cost to replace vehicles has gone up. In our family, I have 3 vehicles, 2 of which have full coverage, and I have a teenager on my policy. My monthly cost for my auto insurance is $244.31. Gas right now in Natrona County is around $2.66 per gallon. So it is costing me, for my little SUV that I have, around $30 to $35 to fill up, depending on how low I let that gas gauge get before I go to the gas station. But yeah, $2.66 per gallon right now in Natrona County for gas. Moving on to utilities. I know this is a big one too. Again, we have kind of a mid-sized lot, I would say. We have a lot of grass, and right now it's summertime and we want to keep our lawn looking nice and green for as long as we can before we blow out the sprinklers for winter. And our last water, trash, and sewer bill was $277.18. Again, a lot of that is just our lawn watering. We do have a family of 4. I do have 2 teenage daughters. They do like to take long showers, but typically that's not going to create that drastic of an increase in our water bill. It's really from watering the lawn. By the time we get to October and we have blown out the sprinklers and we're not watering our lawn, usually our water bill is less than $100 a month. And again, that includes water, trash, and sewer. Now, if you are looking at properties that are on a well and septic system, you're not even gonna have a water or sewer bill, right? Because you are self-sustaining at that property. That being said, you may still want to have a service come out to do your trash removal. Long story short, we're spending right now over the summer around, $300 or just about for our water bill. Our electric bill, yes, we are running the AC at our house as well. Coming from California, we were trained not to set the thermostat below 78. We kind of feel like we're living on the edge here a little bit because we have adjusted our thermostat down to 76. Oh my gosh. But that's what feels comfortable for us. And our electric bill for the month of August was $149.64. Now our gas bill, I'm sure you can imagine our gas bill is hardly anything because really the only gas that we're using in our house is the hot water heater because we have an electric stove and we're not running the furnace. So our gas bill for the month of August was $48.18. Now our internet, we use Starlink. You don't have to use Starlink. We have fiber internet out here. We have high-speed internet. We've used a couple other internet providers in the past that have been around the same price as Starlink, but we didn't feel like we were getting the service and quality of consistency in that service from the other providers that we've previously used. So we're with Starlink, and we paid $90 a month for Starlink. Now, groceries, you gotta eat, right? Family of 4 here, like I said, we budget $300 a week for our groceries, and that does include all of our paper products, our cleaning products, our hygiene products, and our food for the week. So we're spending around $1,200 a month. But just to give you, again, some real numbers, my grocery bill for this week was $334.47, and last week it was $218.37. It all evens out to around $1,200 a month. Again, family of 4, 2 teenagers, they like to eat their snacks, they pack lunches, and that's getting us typically breakfast every single morning, lunches for most days, and that's about 5 nights of dinners. We do typically eat out around 2 times a week. And with that, I thought I would share with you some of the costs of eating out here. So if we're gonna do a quick eat, or what I like to call a quick eat place, like a Qdoba, which our family really does like, or like Fuzzy's Tacos, which is another taco place out here that's kind of like a quick eats place, we're typically spending under $60 for our family of 4 to each eat a meal, have a drink, and maybe like some chips and queso or something. Now, if we are sitting down to a true meal at a restaurant where we have, server coming, we're typically spending anywhere from like $120 to $140 for our family of 4, just depending on where we go, what we get. But yeah, that's for 4 meals, 4 drinks, tax, tip. So I think that's probably fairly comparable with the rest of the US, but I thought I would share because we do typically eat out like 2 times a week. Moving on to another cost that I know is really, really important for families is childcare. Now, again, I have 2 teenagers, so I don't have a childcare bill, but when I did some research on childcare, it does look like childcare here for full-time childcare at a facility is going to run you around $1,200 a month. If you're looking for an in-home daycare, it might be closer to $700 or $800. And then if you just need some after-school care, that might run you closer to $200 a month if they're at like the Y or something, or the Boys and Girls Club. So it does vary quite a bit depending on what your needs are for your family. Something else that I thought that I would mention, because it's important, car washes. Your car washes are going to run you probably anywhere from $15 to $25 depending on what level of clean you want. Our car washes here are typically drive-through. Some of them offer a wipe down service or sprays for you to utilize, but you don't have typically a full service car wash where you have folks that are doing the wipe down and interior clean for you. So keep that in mind. Vets. So if you need a veterinarian, I have a dog. I just thought that I would share with you what our last two bills were. The most recent bill that we had was $60.88. That was for an exam, a nail trim, and for my dog's glands to be expressed. Gross, I know, but it has to get done. I have an older dog. And then in January, so earlier this year, we took our dog to the vet for $169 again for another exam and to do updated vaccines and for a nail trim. So in terms of veterinarian services, I have found Casper to be quite affordable when it comes to that. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comments if that's normal or if that's on the low end. I feel like it's pretty reasonable. And then I thought I would provide some just for fun numbers, because who doesn't want to have fun? Who doesn't want to enjoy living, right? So for some personal services, recently, you may notice I cut my hair, got a little color done to get rid of some of these grays. My cut and color service was $200 with tip. And then, you know, I do like to get my nails done because that just makes me feel better as a person. I feel like I have a little bit more of my life put together when my nails are done. That cost me $50, and that includes tip to get my nails done. If you are a gun enthusiast, this one I got from my husband. If you're a gun enthusiast and you like to go shooting, it is $20 to use an indoor range out here. It is free to shoot in BLM areas outside. And then if you would like to participate in having a membership at a private outdoor range for a family of 4, that would run you around $140 for the year. Other fun things just to note, because why not? If you like to go to the movies, our family loves going to the movies. To see a movie here at one of our 2 very nice movie theaters, it'll run you $9 per person for a matinee. And if you want to go see an evening movie, it'll cost you around $11. And then lastly, I thought that I would share this because I am at a golf course right now. I'm walking the path. I don't know if you can see in the background. Maybe if I get over here, let's see. Can you see that? Anyways, I'm walking the path that parallels Three Crowns Golf Course. Anyways, I'm not a golfer, guys. I really don't enjoy golfing, but I know a lot of people do. We do have quite a few golf courses out here. So I just grabbed the daily rates for Three Crowns here. Again, subject to change and trust but verify, right? But just looking at what their weekday rates are for pre-season, it looks like it's $68 a day. For in-season, it's $85 a day. And for post-season, it is help if I can read my own writing, right? $68 a day for postseason golfing as well. So I hope that that is helpful for you. Again, I was thinking about this video, just trying to create some, like I said, real world numbers for you when you're trying to pencil out what kind of savings you're going to be looking at if you were to move here, because I think it's important to know what other people are spending to draw your own conclusions versus just trying to guess. So hopefully that is helpful for you. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. It would be my honor to help you. Again, I do this every day, and my goal is to make this move your best one yet. So please don't be a stranger when the time is right. Give me a call, send me a text or an email, and also grab my free relocation guide. It will be linked in the description below. It has all sorts of helpful information for you about making the move, places to visit if you're gonna do a discovery trip, all that jazz. So grab that as well. All right, now with that, please take care, and I will see you in the next one.